Colton Mayers. We're in North Carolina. Can you tell everybody where we are?
We're in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Okay, and you know that we're on a 50-state tour, and it's been amazing, and we're meeting all sorts of people with their passions, and I was lucky enough to actually interview both of your parents, and your parents have a lot going on, medical things going on, and I interviewed them and posted it on our daily show here, right, for our on the road episodes.
Yeah.
But I know that you're a pretty passionate guy, and you have something cool to share with my audience. So, can you tell them what you're most passionate about?
Well, recently I've gotten really into being healthy, as far as eating right, exercising. It was always something that I enjoyed, but I never took it seriously. And then when I started taking it seriously, my confidence went up. I was much happier, and it gave a lot of structure to my life. And that's how it's helped me.
Where did this start for you, though? Why did you all of a sudden start being like Joe Healthy?
Well, I guess it started back in middle school. I was a really big kid. I was 230 pounds at like 5'10", so I was already a tall kid at the time, but I was also a wide kid, and a lot of people made fun of me, and it was just common stuff that happens to kids. And after a while, I didn't like it, but I dropped too much weight, dropped down to 170 by high school, and it was unhealthy. Dropped it too quickly, didn't eat enough, all that. And then I sort of, by the time I got into college, I brought my weight back up to 230, and then I started taking things seriously and tried to get a little bit more structure with exercising, and started researching it, and there was just a lot that I didn't know, that once I started looking into it, it was pretty interesting to me. So I did it, and it helped me. So.
I mean, a lot of people, we all know about that freshman 15.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Where you gained that weight. And then, so obviously it seems like it kicked in for you that, hey, I want to make this a priority. But what kind of hesitations or challenges have you had doing that?
Well, I guess I always saw what I wanted, but I never thought I could actually achieve that.
What was what you wanted? What did that look like for you?
Probably an unrealistic image of what I thought how I was supposed to be, and I guess I focused a little bit too much on that for a long time. But then when I started just taking everything day by day, and when I started focusing on, instead of rather the end, I focused on what little things I could do throughout my life, even if it wasn't even related to food or exercise. If whatever made me happy, I tried to do that, and it would allow me to continue my training and get to where I wanted to be.
What did that look like for you? What types of things?
What do you mean?
What types of things made you happy that allowed you to keep pushing forward?
I surround myself with good people. If there were people in my life that weren't helping me, then I wasn't going to stick around for that. So surround myself with good people, try to eat good things, and I'd love to do the research on it. I would research it religiously, and maybe some people didn't want to hear it after a while, but I was never a person who would stress upon, this is what you got to do, this is what you got to do. But having all that knowledge was nice, because it wasn't just like, I'm not going to eat high fructose corn syrup or something. The reason why I wouldn't eat it is, it was not naturally produced, and I saw how it was processed, and once I had that in my head, it was a little bit better.
What does a day look like for you as far as health and fitness goes?
At this point in time, I will consume 5 eggs in the morning, natural eggs, and then I'll have some sort of carb source like like a whole grain cereal, or like oats or something like that. Protein shake at 55 grams of protein, then some supplements that I've done research on, not just whatever, but a good lunch, always a protein source, a fish, a chicken, or a different meat like that. Or sometimes I'll do like a vegetable protein, like beans or stuff like that. Then also a starch, and then after that I will have hemp protein, pea protein as a a shake after lunch, and then when I get home I will consume a shake, then go to the gym, and then afterwards I'll the most critical time for me is right after I work out, because it's about replenishing and being able to go back into the gym but not like hurt your body, because it's really easy to overtrain and people don't understand that.
Right.
Even if you're just running too much or whatever you're doing, it's really easy to overtrain. So it's a crucial window afterwards where you can consume a carb source, and I do that through like Gatorade, like electrolytes, but then a high sugar content like that will spike your sugar levels, and you have to bring that down. Otherwise, you can damage the cells as well. So I then try to bring it down with dinner, and but it sounds like a lot, but it's helped me, and I lost 15 pounds but maintained lean mass. So
that's great. So how do you see yourself now comparatively? Like you said, you were kind of trying to achieve an image that you thought wasn't maybe realistic. How do you see yourself now?
I'm happy with myself. Once I just focused on enjoying it instead of like weighing myself or doing anything like that. I just stopped doing all that. Just consumed things that I felt were good and that I liked, that I was happy making, that taste good. I'm not just gonna, I can't really think of an example, but once I started doing that, I just lost weight, and now I'm happy.
Well, I think that's really important. I think enjoying the process is the most important thing, because then you continue the process because you enjoy it.
Yeah, and the structure it gave me allowed me to propel myself like in my work and everything like that. So,
and what do you do for work?
Textiles manager for a local textile company. They do laminates for Bosch appliances, and they do laminates for Mercedes, and there's a lot of other important companies that we do that for. And then also a warehouse supervisor for a fine Italian linens company, which I really enjoy. And I actually, when I was in Raleigh today, I saw some of the stuff on a really nice boutique shelf. I was like, Shelly's my girlfriend, and I was like, Shelly, look at this. They have this in the boutique, and she's like, oh, do you like Senioria, which is the name of the company? And I was like, I shipped these to you. I made sure this got to you.
That's awesome. That's really exciting. What do you think that you have learned about yourself through this journey? And this has been going on, even though you said recently, it's really not recent. This has been going on since you probably had poor self-image. This has been going on for you.
Yeah.
What'd you learn about yourself? You were overweight and you didn't feel good about yourself. So now you're at the weight you want to be at. It sounds like you have your body mass and all that good stuff in check, and you have your system and your program down, and you're feeling good about what you're doing. So did you learn anything about yourself through that process?
I guess I learned that the less I stressed about it, the better off I was. Once I started eliminating the things that bothered me in my life, it was easier to achieve whatever I wanted. I just sort of look at what the end goal was, see it, let it go for a bit, not, dwell on it, but just see that end goal and then achieve it by doing everything I can in small doses.
So, okay, so I think one of the things too you're saying is that you do best when you do things in small doses, and that's one of the things you've probably learned. And it sounds like you've really enriched your life with this passion, because I'm thinking that your confidence was impacted by it, your energy level was impacted by it. Was there any other way you've enriched your life with this? I mean, I know your girlfriend, you brought up Shelly, and I know that she also does like gluten-free, and she's very conscious about it.
Yeah, her thing was she had allergies, dairy and gluten, so it's helped as far as we like to plan recipes, so inadvertently we've gotten closer together because we can plan out dinners for the week, and we have a schedule board of just like dishes that we interact that way.
Right, yeah, enriching your life. It sounds like it's impacted your relationship, which, I mean, it's great because you have somebody to do this with, and I think that's probably when it comes to weight loss or even just being healthy, it makes it so much easier when you're doing it with somebody else. I always my show is all about pursuing a passion, right? Incorporating a passion in your life, enriching your life in some way, and it seems like you've done that this way. Can you give my audience any advice about pursuing a passion in general, about doing something that will enrich their lives?
I think that if you have a passion or even an idea of something that you might want to pursue in your life, I think the best way to go about it is to actualize what you want out of the passion, where you might see that path, how you're going to get there. And then, you're not going to get it tomorrow. Maybe you will. That would be nice. But, you're not always going to get everything in a week. You're not going to get it in a month, possibly. It could be years. It's
big though to hear somebody in your generation, because you're the same age as my daughter, right? So I'm very familiar with 24-year-olds. And I know that you guys are very used to things happening quickly and getting things quickly. I mean, your generation is constantly downed for that, right? That you don't have patience. So I think it's really awesome that you've learned that patience really is part of what is so important about pursuing a passion, that it's not going to come overnight, and especially weight loss. I mean, that's such a healthy approach.
Oh, yeah. I mean, going about it slowly is, I think, the best way. And, if you go by too quickly, you won't enjoy it. So I like to take my time.
And I talk to you, 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 and we love, and we hate, and we demonstrate, we try to relate. This is my breakthrough. Whoa. Said now, this is my breakthrough.